Hey guys, Scott here from Chernobyl Studios, and don't you think the metal rhythm guitar tones lately are kind of starting to sound the same? Because I definitely do. Now, in fact, because of that, I actually go out of my way not to use certain things in my productions and client mixes just because I'm personally tired of hearing a particular product or sound everywhere else. Now, you can go ahead and call this the producer's curse if you want, but I'm just going to call it old fashioned market oversaturation. Now, because of that, I'm making this video to challenge you guys to do something different this year. Now, before I get too far into this, please hit like, hit that bell notification, and subscribe so you don't miss my future videos about guitar tones and metal audio production. So like I said, instead of grabbing just that Mesa oversized cab with B30s and throwing an SM57 on there, why not try something different? Why not work a little bit harder and experiment a little bit longer in 2020 to find your unique voice? Of course, it's easier to say that, so here are 5 tips you can do right now to start creating a unique rhythm guitar tone for yourself. Number 1, stop using a Mesa oversized cab with B30s. So about 10 years ago, a guy you might have heard of, Andy Sneap, more or less accidentally created the go-to rhythm guitar tone. It's a Mesa oversized with vintage 30 speakers, mic'd with an SM57. Now, okay, yeah, right. Its simplicity is matched only by its brutality. The oversized cab is very easy to work with, and yes, it sounds great. However, once you hear this tone and you understand what the Mesa cab characteristics are sonically, you're going to hear this cab everywhere. It's literally everywhere, and not even on metal records. It's been on pop records. If there's a guitar on a rap record, I'm sure it was a Mesa cab. It's literally everywhere. All right. So if you're going to use this configuration, don't be surprised when your riffs and your sound sounds like everybody else. So do you really want to sound like everybody else instead of, trying to find your own unique voice here? So listen, just instead of grabbing and loading a Mesa right away, why don't you see what an Angle sounds like, or a Marshall, or a Uber cab, even an Orange cab, even a boutique cab, that's less popular. Why not? Give it a shot. You never know, you might find something you really like. Number 2, experiment with different speakers. So sort of piggybacking off of the first point, consider using speakers or cabinet impulse responses, okay, that are not vintage 30s. All right. It's like the country club speaker. I get it. It's a safe choice for metal. It's awesome. Proven track record. But again, has a very particular sound that's identifiable. And it's a vintage 30. You're only going to get a vintage 30 sound. Take some time to try out different speakers. You're going to be shocked when you hear just how many different tonal palettes you can work with. And you never know, you might realize, I don't even like B30s. I like T75s or whatever might happen when you're experimenting with different speaker types. So yeah, there are other speakers besides B30s that exist for metal. So experiment with different speakers. Number 3, try different amps. So this is much easier to do now in the digital age. There are amp simulators everywhere, right? So maybe instead of just grabbing that triple rec or a 5150, try a different amp, okay? So this one might seem obvious, but this is a common situation that I have with clients. They really like a particular sound, and it's nearly always a dual rec or a triple rec or 5150, and it's just like, maybe you want to do something different. Maybe you want to have a different sound. I mean, why? Why not try something else? What about an Angle, a Dietzel, Soldano? There are a lot of high gain, amazing amps right now that are amp simulators that you can try as a demo for free. You might like it more. It's all about trying to find your own identity here. So what's the point of just grabbing a 5150 and running it through a Mesa like everybody else does, or a dual rec through a Mesa? Why would you do that? Yeah, it sounds good, but then try something else. Try something else. Be and sound different. It'll be way more interesting, and you'll have your own identifiable tone. Yeah, consider trying different amps. Number 4, change your guitar tuning. So I've recently done this again. So I took my E standard guitar and I tuned it down a half step. A long time ago, I started experimenting with drop A tuning on my 7th string because I was an idiot. And for a long time, I was like, well, drop tuning. That's not for real guitar players. Well, due to a physical injury that I have with my left arm, it's more comfortable for me to play drop tuning than regular tuning just because my fingers don't work very well. And lo and behold, I really like drop A tuning on my 7 string. Before that, I really enjoyed writing in C sharp. A new tuning can really give your guitar a totally different vibe and sound, and you might even have new ideas. So, like even if you're an E standard going down a half step, you're gonna notice a change in how your guitar reacts and what riffs sound like. You might like it a little bit better. Just make sure that if you're doing any sort of low tuning, that you have the right strings for it. Number 5, stop using an SM57, or at the very least, do microphone blends. Again, the SM57, great, safe choice. This microphone, no matter what, will deliver the sound you're looking for. It just works. But why not try a different microphone, like an MD421, an R121, a C414, M160. There are so many different types of microphones out there that will capture the sound differently, especially when you position them all over the speaker. So, I mean, at the very least, consider adding a second SM57 in the Fredman technique or something like that to create unique blends. With the internet and it being 2020 and everybody being able to basically record the guitar at home now, it's very important that you have your own signature, your own voice. I mean, why should you even try to find your own voice? Well, it's 2020. I just said that. We have the internet. I just said that. Every 13 seconds, a new band is releasing some kind of music right now. Everyone can record music at home. I just said that. Good songs obviously are important, okay? I mean, whatever, but you hear a Pantera song, you immediately know it's Pantera. You hear even Rammstein, you immediately know it's them because of their unique sounds. The guitar sound is unique. That's their signature. You don't have to be like, oh, that's but then you look at a lot of this modern metal productions of the last couple of years. You're like, which band is that now? The drums are the same, guitars are the same, everything's just the same, and you want to start sticking out. I really believe now that with the end of the loudness wars, and at this point in time, the music is is actually rubber banding back to. We want different sounds. We want to get away from everything being perfect. I think we're going to have like a renaissance of music again. So I just have a gut feeling that now is the time to develop your sound and get your own voice out there so you can be unique. Now, I want to prove to you that this works. If you're new to recording music, or you're new to this, and you're kind of like, well, what's the difference? A V30 and Marshall. What's the point? I don't see the point. I'm going to prove it to you. So I have a Cubase session here. I have a riff that this is one of my songs that I've been working on. It's not released or anything yet. I'm just going to solo one aspect of the riff here. And I've got 4 different cabinet impulses. Now, just for the sake of easy comparison, there's all V30s, okay, at 3 inches away from the cap edge. But it's 4 different cabs. All right, we got a Mesa oversized cab. We got a Marshall 1960. Got an Uber cab in there and an Angle. So it's an SM57, the same position on the speaker, 4 different cabs. All I'm going to do is cycle between the different cabs. Like I said, they all got the SM57 in the same position. I just want to show you how even with the same microphone, the same speakers, when you choose different cabs, you'll get completely different sounds. So after you listen to this, just imagine all the different sounds you could create by different speakers, different microphones, microphone blends, cabinet blends. All right, there's a lot of stuff you can do here. So let's go ahead and listen to the 4 cabinets really quick. 4 cabinets, 4 completely unique different sounds, and 4 completely unique different starting points. So if you know that, hey, I really like a high gain, more presency type of sound, you're gonna want to go with an angle, because an angle just, like out of the box sounds like that. All right. If you want like a really crunchy, gritty, I don't want to say harsh, but like, raw type of tone, you might want to consider a Marshall. It just comes out that way, right? But if you really love that mid-rangey type of sound, maybe you do want to have a Mesa. Who knows? But here we are, 4 completely different sounds with 4 cabs with the same speaker type and the same microphone. So guys, it's time to get away from just doing what everybody else is doing. Stop that. Take some time out of your day to sit down and tinker. All right, that's the lost art of music production, just tinkering. And I think that's one thing that the digital age has completely screwed, is just sitting in our room and tinkering. This is cool. Oh, this is by accident. That's awesome. Now, there are a lot of examples in music history where a guitar tone or something like that was created out of a complete musical accident. One that comes to mind, I believe, is the Dire Straits' "Money for Nothing" guitar tone. If I remember correctly from what I read, literally the microphone fell off the stand, and it's recorded in such a non-traditional fashion, but the guitar tone is so unique, right? And that's a guitar tone they've never been able to replicate ever. It's just a freak accident, a freak musical accident. But now, in the digital age, it comes down to you having the discipline to experiment and to try something new. So come on, 2020, try something new. Get away from trying to sound like your favorite bands. So if you like the video, hit like, subscribe. Don't forget that bell notification button so you get updated and notified when my next videos come up. We got a lot of cool content coming up, including some awesome plugin reviews. So I will see you guys soon. Hope you have a great weekend. Have a good one.